Doo-doo. All right, we got Jeremy Lewis. He's here before I'm here. God damn. All right, y'all. We got a live stream I've been wanting to do for a while. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my main man, Mr. Millen. Mr. Millen is the sole proprietor, and this website, startfireside.com, is his brainchild. So, many of you that are fans of this platform, you weren't around when we did the first. We did the first Fireside Family stream. All right, Mr. Millen was here for that first stream. I think Mrs. Evil was here as well. I think Captain Paul was there for it too. Yeah, there was us four. Yes. But today I'm going to be doing the solo thing, going through the service with you. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. I quite enjoy the website. I think the website is done very, very well. I think that the content that is there, it looks good, it's compelling. And we've had some pretty fun conversations. And so the service is really meant more for work groups, friends and family, to be able to interact with each other and then use the service as a way to promote healthy communication among different groups of people in personal and professional settings. But I'm the one that told them, like, hey, this would be fun to use for live streaming as well. So I'm hoping that as people enter into the stream, that more and more of you will participate in this. All right. So I'm going to make sure I'm set up here. Okay. So if you are in the chat, so this is not your normal stream where you can just kind of sit there and just kind of like watch on the sidelines. This is interactive. I'm going to be looking for your participation. Need your participation. All right, people. So please, no lurkers. In order to make this like a really fun thing, you're going to have to participate. Please, participation is super duper important. All right. So if you're in the chat, please make yourself known. And you know, with Jeremy Lewis, he's going to make himself known. How you doing, Jeremy? Yep. And Mrs. Evil is here in the chat. She's not on the panel today. She's in the chat. Okay. All right. And again, everybody else, make sure that you drop a comment because I really want your input. This is going to be fun. Fun. Okay. Let me... I think there might be some tab audio there. Okay. All right, so we're going to just kind of get started, and hopefully more of the usual suspects will join in. But I want to thank each and every one of you that's already here. I do appreciate you. All right. So today we're going to be going through sets scheme number 1. You are offered a gift from the Ancient God set. With this gift comes a consequence. Take turns reviewing the offer and determining if you accept this gift and the consequence that comes along with it. Once each person's made their choice, take turns describing your reason for your decision. We're going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to do it a little differently. We are going to, I'm going to make my choice. I'm going to ask you guys for your choices, but when you give your choices, I want you to give your, I want you to, I want you to give your methodology for why you would or would not choose the offer that's there. And you know, Blind Bat, he is a very wise young man with excellent vision and foresight. No free lunches. And Joy Walking Rolling Diary just brought me a beverage. Thank you. All right. Okay. So we are going to, if I can find my, okay, here we go. All right, here we go, man. All right, let's get it. Let me make sure that if there is any audio, I can hear it. All right, we're good on that. Traditionalists. Even nothing ain't free anymore. Hard to argue with that. Hard to argue with that. All right. So, set scheme, the first gifts. Now, one, nothing still costs $4.99. Well, you know, hanging out with me is technically free, even though we're on an ad-supported profile platform. Excuse me. But I do appreciate all of you that have chosen to not do the free thing on our platform and have donated. So thank you very much for your support thus far. All right. Okay. Whoops. No. All right. Theater mode, full screen. We are sharing, right? Okay. Did I do something wrong here? So my guy, Justin, one of the things that you've done very well is make it very clear how to proceed. And this tiny box here is not going to do it. this tiny box over in the corner, we're going to have to expand this. Okay. The Trickster God and his gift. You are offered a gift from the Ancient God set. With this gift comes a consequence. And let's get into, well, we have the, is this a pyramid? So this is a pyramid scheme game. This is not FTX. And this is not Bernie Madoff making off with your money. Yeah. Hey, this warms my heart, man. My cold, dead heart. It does. All right. So, like I said, this service is meant for work groups to help them in their quest for effective and really enjoyable communication. So we're going to go through the ground rules that would be apparent in a group situation. Focused. Select a leader to keep the group focused on the topic. Now, I know you guys in the chat, you guys would choose me anyway, right? Even if you wouldn't, I'm the leader that you deserve. Respectful. Listen first, think second, then speak. Really, really important when you're talking about discourse, both in mixed company, in private, and in public. Be kind to each other. and refrain from judgments and ridicule. Okay. Finite. Keep the session to 60 minutes or less. Tick, 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 tick. Be sure to allow time for each member to participate. All right. Now, this rule was developed so that people don't feel overwhelmed. Because, when you're in a group setting and you're focused on one topic or what have you. Thank you, Brad, for making your presence known. Please, I hope that you will participate with us today, because this is an interactive thing. Okay. But we're going to go on as long as you guys are having fun. All right. It's traditionalist. Doing what's traditionalist does. Yes. This is what was in my head. Get out of my head. Okay. We're going to get into the first one, the gift. You can give one superpower to anyone you like. The trick is you don't get a superpower for yourself. Do you accept? So I'm going to let you guys go up in the comments and say, hey, you can give superpowers to, your superpower is giving superpowers to everybody else, but you don't get any. Is this something you would accept, and why or why not? Joy Walking says yes. Jeremy is taking that. Mrs. Evil is also taking that. So we've got nothing says you'll get a superpower yourself if you don't give it to anyone else. So I say yes, I accept to give somebody a superpower, especially if you get to choose who. Now, the way that I'm interpreting this is that it says you can give one superpower to anyone you like, meaning that you can just go around just handing people one free superpower a person. So you don't have to limit it to just giving it to just one person you like. You can give one to anyone you like. So I mean, when you think about it, that's kind of a superpower in and of itself, is it not? I mean, when you look at the Marvel universe, and you look at everyone that has superpowers, some of the superpowers have been conferred onto them, like Captain America, right? But Bruce Banner too, / the Hulk. But very rarely do you see an entity that is able to just give a superpower to another being, and that's basically their whole function. So in my mind, being able to just dole out superpowers, that would be a superpower in and of itself, if you're thinking about it. Okay. Joy says, yes, I accept. I can at least try to stop war, which is happening currently. Now, one of the things about this is that it seems to me that wars are going to happen regardless. But then again, you can give one superpower to anyone you like. You can't control how to use the superpower. But if the people that you like, the people that you are involved with, would use that power to go and stop a war, that would be pretty cool. Jeremy Lewis says yes, because I know the strengths I believe I have are perceived differently by other people. That is interesting. Seems harmless. I control who gets the superpower, right? Then my super friends can help me. Pretty wholesome. Blind Bat says no. We would love to hear your reasoning. Seditionalist says, if I can give the superpower of keep it simple, stupid, to Lewis Rossman, I would, so the right to repair movement would get supercharged. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with politics in the United States, it's very much not simple. Blind Bat says power changes people. Very interesting. How many of you thought of this? Imagine you give somebody a superpower and then they're like, wow, I'm special. And at the same time, I'm thinking, well, it's probably up to me to choose better, the people that I would give a superpower like this to. That would probably be on me. But that is something that is legitimate and must be thought of. Mrs. Evil says, but what if I gave you superpowers, Blind Bat, so you can see? I will not give absolute superpower because it corrupts. Well, the thing is, a superpower is a superpower. So I don't think, is it that you give it to them and you spoon feed to them, little portions of it, or do you give them a superpower? And if you look at the way comic books have always been written, some people do great things with the superpowers. Other people seek to enrich themselves or protect themselves. But if you're the one conferring the superpower, you get to decide. But, Blind Bat is like, hey, man. Yep. So I thought I would give to only someone who I can trust 100%. Yeah. But the thing is, and this is what, Blind Bat is kind of putting out there, can you really trust anybody 100%? If you put somebody in a situation where, I'll give it to you like this. Somebody wins the lottery. You would think that going from being working class, you would think that somebody being working class, winning the lottery for $10 million, $100 million. We had one dude in California win for $2.04 billion. Will that person still be the same person? You can say that wealth is a superpower, depending on how much of it you have. And then what do you do with that wealth? You can say political power is somewhat of a superpower in our society. And you see how people act when they're running for a seat, when they are running for public office, a seat in a public office. They make a lot of promises, and then you confer them the power to make decisions over the populace. Do they always do what they say they're going to do? Usually, they don't do most of anything that's useful to the people. A lot of times they enrich themselves. So that is quite the thought process for that Blind Bat is bringing. Seditionalist says, if it's the superpower of superpowers, why would that still corrupt? Ordinary power corrupts because people still want more power for themselves. But if you already have superpower, you're already there. But the thing is, you don't have all the powers. And there are some people that will take their superpower and then use it to enrich themselves or to try to rule over others and decide for others how they're going to live. Right? There are people in our society that paint their hair blue and they think that they are conferred a superpower, not unlike Super Saiyan God, blue, that they get to tell you what to think, feel, believe, and how to act and what to say. They think that blue hair coloring gives them the superpower to control your life. Some people believe that when they put on that red MAGA hat, that confers upon them the superpower to basically do the same thing. They believe they have the same power that somebody who painted their hair blue with some dye. They think that the red MAGA hat also confers upon them the same power. So, I don't think that having a superpower, because remember, the superpower is to give one superpower to anyone you like. So you can give one person a power. Everybody gets a different power if you want them to have that. But I think it's very interesting. Blind Bat said, look at the House of Representatives, Congress, the senators. Yep. Citizen says, people don't need no powers or superpowers for one to control how others live their lives, though. Just don't give superpowers to Karen. So we are thinking pretty similarly, traditionalists. Jeremy Lewis says, reminds me of the politics having superpowers and saving people highlighted in Batman versus Superman. Just because you have the power to do these things, at what right do you have that, and at what cost? Very, very, very good. Very good. I could not put it better than that. Except that I hate the premise of the movie because the movie should end in the first 5 seconds. Batman is like, yo, I'm going to kill you. And as Superman laser beams his head off. And then his head turns into a melted slag. And then the husk of the rest of his body just kind of falls to the ground. And that's it. I never, ever believe in the premise of... I never, ever believe in the premise of Superman versus Batman. Batman could live in a much nicer house because Superman has to live in this icy, weird ass cave. But Superman can, like, every time the sun shines, he can just vaporize you in an instant. So, but this is not about that. This is about this. So, yeah, this was a very nice opening salvo. I really, really enjoy a lot of your thoughts here. The thing is, to be honest with you, when Blind Bat was the only one to be like, no. And I'm like, damn, you're a hater. But then he's like, hey, man, you got to watch out. I'm like, oh, man, this guy has lived a lot of life. He's not just talking shit. Also, the gift states you can give one superpower, but it's the kind that likely corrupts somebody. You don't have to. But the thing is, any superpower can corrupt anybody. There are people in the country right here in the United States that believe that as long as there is a group suffering more than them, that their life is good by virtue of somebody else's life being worse than theirs. So I can give somebody the superpower of gaining $1 anytime they are mistaken for some celebrity person. And these people, that person could start running around thinking, look, everybody, I'm so much better than you because I got this very minor but very interesting superpower. I'm superior to you now. We had an issue happen in Germany in the late 1920s through mid 1930s, where somebody actually believed that they were better because the color of their hair was yellow and the color of their eyes were blue. So any superpower of any kind has the power to corrupt. I just think that if you are, and also too, if you're the one conferring the superpowers, you can become very corrupt your goddamn self. Let's just be honest. Let's just be, let's just be real about that. All right, we're gonna move into the next one. That was spirited. I really enjoyed that. The gift. You can understand what all animals are thinking. The trick. You can't talk to them. Do you accept? What do you guys say? I can already feel the conflict in your soul. I mean, this is set, man. This is what set does. Ah. All right, let's give reasonings. We're going to let Mrs. Evil stew in this one. Somebody clip this. You know what? I'm sorry. This is so good. That I'm going to take a screenshot of this and I'm going to send this to Lewis. I am going to, yep, that's what I'm going to do. And then we're going to see what the venerable Lewis Rossman has to say about this. That was very, very good. That's probably my favorite comment of this stream. All right, now that you guys have had some time to think about it, I'm going to accept this for safety purposes. Also, for what was the name of that guy? It's not Maury Povich. What was the other guy that had that really trashy ass show? Not Maury Povich, but Jerry Springer, right? Jerry Springer. I get to basically sit on the sidelines and be entertained every time I see dogs yelling at each other from across the street. But also, wow. First of all, Blind Bat is like, listen, I don't even want to hear people talk. But here's the thing, right? We know that we can talk to humans, right? So if you gain this superpower, you're still going to be able to talk to humans. So even though this is a very cautious thought, I think we're actually talking about non-human animals here, because if you can understand what because we can understand what humans are thinking when they talk, when they speak, right? You'd still be able to talk to humans. So that's how I am interpreting it. But this is very yep. So yeah. Because in my mind, I'm not really including humans in this. Although I do agree with you. Would the trickster not try to trick you? Yes, the additionalist is going to have. Yeah, he's saying a flat no because of the way he's interpreting it. Have you ever guys have ever seen this movie called Wishmaster? Now, Mrs. Evil, I know you think that is a very dangerous movie to bring up, but I shall remind you that the person that would react to that question is not in the stream currently. So it's okay. It's safe. So yeah, what was his first name? Oh, shit. I forgot. His last name was Demarest. I need to find this this movie in Wikipedia. I want to figure out what this guy's name is. The name of the djinn. The plot concerns a djinn, a wish-granting evil genie who is released from a jewel and seeks to capture the soul of the woman who discovered him, thereby opening a portal and fleeing his fellow djinn to inhabit and enslave the earth. What was the name of the main character? Because his name was so funny to me. Nathaniel Demarest. Oh man. So you can say in this one that Set is Nathaniel Demarest. Okay, Dan Jensen says, sorry, late to the party. Accept this one. I could earn a lot of money off this power. That's possible. That's possible. Suppose a dog come by and say, I want to lick your butt. I'm pretty sure dogs have already said it, but I didn't understand it. So the answer will probably still be the same, which is no. I think if humans are excluded, then what's the point of the trick? I think that it would be that if you could understand what they're thinking, you would then want to talk to them. So you would feel like the gift is hollow if you can't actually act on it. It would be like the gift is you always have money around you. The trick is you can't have any of it. I accept because I can still pantomime. But the thing is, they're not going to know what it is that you're saying. Otis is here. How you doing? It's good to see you. Everybody, participate. All right. Do you accept? You can understand what all animals are thinking. You can't talk to them. Traditionalist is like, listen, you're not catching me out there. I'm not accepting nothing. But I don't feel like speaking is not always necessary to communicate with others, my opinion. So the trick does say that you can't talk to them. It doesn't say that you can't communicate with them. And that is a good point, Jeremy. That is a good point. Yep. Dan just wants to get paid. Because, you know, Dan, he is a shitter level subscriber to the Talking Shit podcast. Patreon, and he does drop, and he does sponsor the stream from time to time, and that costs money. So he's like, listen, all that stuff costs money, and I can make money off of understanding what animals thinking. So it would be limited communication to an extent, obviously. Yeah. You want to shit on Patreon? All right, we'll go to the next one. It's traditionalist. You're the MVP of that question. The gift. You can see perfectly both during the day and at night. The trick. Your eyes will always glow orange. That's the trick? Your eyes will always glow orange? I mean, I have really good eyesight as it is. And during the day and at night. But maybe see perfectly, meaning that your field of view is just as good at night as it is during the day. People already look at me like I'm weird. Hello? But I could become like a quasi celebrity and earn money with this. So Mrs. Evil says yes. Dan Jensen is telling everybody to subscribe to the TSP Patreon. So seditionalists can't find the loophole in this one. I can wear shades if needed. I mean, doesn't Stevie Wonder have to do that? And he can't see nothing. What else says the rest of yous? Because one of you guys, I'm blind bat. Come on. You're the blind bat. Again, the gift is, if you accept this gift, you can see perfectly during the day and night. Would you take it? So I really want to know. Yeah, I can't see the downside here either. Yep. For me, I need the eyesight, but still don't want to stand out. Only if orange eye is common to have, I will accept with that condition. Now, I have to say to you, this is not, they're asking you directly to your face. You don't get to look to the left or the right to see how other people chose, right? I have to ask you straight up. You go to Egypt, you fall into one of the pyramids, and Set is talking to you. And you have to make a decision right then and there. Do you want perfect vision day and night, where your eyes are going to glow orange always? Now, the only downside that I can think of is when you go to sleep and you close your eyes, does the glow keep you seeing a bright orange light? Is it something that you can get used to, or would it prevent you from sleeping because the orange glow, which is energy that is emitted, will you ever be able to sleep? See, I would love to look like a Super Saiyan. Except, although I'm not a fan of looking like... Only if the glow is so bright and intrusive, it means you can't see shit day and night. But the gift is that you can see perfectly, so the glow should not be a hindrance either. But if that glow could prevent you from not seeing when it's time to not see. So when you close your eyes and you go to sleep at night, if your eyes are still glowing, you're probably going to see a bright orange glow in your eyelids. So yeah, you don't care if they look at you funny. So that would be my traditionalist or blind bat style caveat. I would be worried if that glow would prevent me from sleeping. Now, if this was if this was Wishmaster, you know that there's something messed up with it. I'm going to say you never slept whilst laying in the sun. An orange glow should not prevent you from sleeping. But do you want to sleep under those conditions for the rest of your life? Linebat makes another good point. He said it'll suck the first couple of weeks, maybe. Personally, this is difficult. One side of me is telling me don't do it because my eyesight is plenty good enough. Would you still have the glow if you wear shades? Yeah, because that light is emanating from your eyes. So the shades would would keep other people from seeing your orange glowing eyes, but you would still see the glow in your eyes. But if my eyes are better at night, then, I mean, I'm really supposed to be sleeping at night, but it would be really cool if, I think I would probably go driving a lot more at night. Yeah, the real question is, do you want the perfect eyesight? Is it worth the chance? My paranoia for this one, coupled with the fact that I feel like I'm already blessed, I'm going to decline. This one I'm going to decline. Everybody would think you're an alien. They already do. That ship has already sailed. Everybody complains when it's 98 degrees outside and I'm celebrating. You say, hell yeah, I would drive a lot more at night too. Yep. To me, it is. Sounds like less of a risk than eye surgery, and I'm considering that too. I think I would take the risk. I'll just become nocturnal. Yeah, so I think my eyesight isn't horrible as is, but perfect night sight is the selling factor. It's really hard for me to argue with this. But I think this is the first one I'm going to decline because this is one of those things where it's like I'm already in such a good place. I think it would be different if I was blind or if I have very poor eyesight. I would accept. But I think being happy with what I have is probably the route that I would take in this instance. On to the next. That was a tough one, though. The gift. You are the smartest person on the planet. The trick. Everyone will treat you like you are stupid. Do you accept? Hmm. Jeremy Lewis said, except people already think I'm stupid. All right, tell us why you would not, Otis. I just heard Joy walking, laughing in the other room. So I know she really likes this one. This one is very, very clear. Everyone will treat you like you are stupid. The richest man in the world, Elon Musk, most people now think he's stupid, but not because he's the smartest person on the planet, because he does, super stupid shit. Okay. Mrs. Evil says, I'm going to say no. I think the frustration I would feel because of how I'm treated by everyone would be too much. It's not good to be smarter than all others. Okay. Mrs. Evil makes a compelling point here. This is a good one. Jeremy Lewis says, it would be like the beginning of that movie, Don't Look Up. Yeah! Actually, most of the movie. I mean, most of that movie, the astronomer, you actually had people saying, don't look up, so that you won't see the evidence that what this guy's saying is true. And that was really, really frustrating. But not everybody thought he was stupid, though. Not everybody thought he was stupid. Just most people. And in this case, everybody would treat you like you're stupid. Like, if I accepted this, both of my ladies would instantly start disrespecting my intelligence. See, here's the problem, statisticians. Here's the problem with this. Kira Simone, welcome, makes the point. This lady, shout out to her. All right. Shout out to Juniper. Okay. This is it. So this just says, if you're the smartest person on the planet, you'll know how to deal or avoid with people treating you like you're stupid. In this case, it would be everyone. I would treat you like you're stupid. I know you can't live with that. Oh, wow. Thanks for that. No, I would just be angry all the time. So I'm happy with my level of intelligence. I'm going to decline for the reasons that Miss Simone has outlined. Because if you deal with this traditionalist side, well, you'd be very wealthy, you'd know everything, but you would be missing out on a large part of what it would be like to be a human being. And I can't abide by that. I can't. So this one says, if you're the smartest person alive, you know how to pretend to be somebody else that isn't being treated like stupid by everyone. But again, the trick is very clear here, Stad. Everyone will treat you like you are stupid. Even if you pretend to be stupid, you will still be treated like you are no matter what. And yeah, it does get lonely at the top. It does. And the thing is, and you know, Jeremy, you make a good point here, Jeremy. Everybody on the planet will treat you like you are stupid. And because you're the smartest person on the planet, you're going to treat everyone else like they are stupid. That is not a very positive experience. So I'm going to decline. Damn, this went dark really, really fast. This got dark really, really fast. Well, the trickster does allow for making everybody else just, you know, yeah. Life does come with loneliness, but thankfully, we aren't lonely. And if you accepted this, you would be guaranteed to be lonely. Like completely. That's a guarantee. Because when people treat you like you're stupid, they don't respect you. And disrespect comes in a lot of different flavors from a lot of different people. To have every human being on the planet treat you that way, you got toddlers thinking that you're a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to end up turning into Lex Luthor. Yeah, so I'm going to decline this one. I'm going to decline this one, but I see that many of you are, many of you, this one does appeal to you. And I can't be mad at you. Yes, traditionalist is like, listen. But the thing is, I would be roasting you every single time you came into my stream. All right, we're going to the next one. The gift. Your mind can function as a search engine. That ain't a gift. The trick. There are a lot of pop-up ads. Hell no. No. What? You guys, you guys. You said I'd be smart enough to not come to your stream. Mrs. Eway is not feeling this one. He's like, look, I got Google for that. You're like, yeah, like, yo, like, everyone's like, what? Where's the temptation here? Yo, I couldn't even hold off. This was so absurd. That is true. There's a lot of unsavory things. But then again, your mind can function as a search engine, meaning that if there's something that you wanted to know, you can just search for the one thing that you want to know. But if you do search for that thing that, I don't know, you're looking to buy 2 cups, one for you and one for a girl, you might end up with a search results for 2 girls, 1 cup. He said, I'll pass. I get a virus too quick. He said, this happens anyway. Pass. I mean, the pop-up ads are a nice bonus, bringing in the dough, but still. Bringing in the dough, not for you. I wouldn't want to rent out my brain as a search engine. It didn't say anything about renting it out. It is your mind can function as a search engine, meaning that all the information that can be found in the internet, you can find it within your own mind. You don't have to consult a computer. You don't have to ask anybody, well, what is this? You can just search, you could just ask the question to yourself and be able to answer it for yourself or answer it for other people. A lot of pop-up ads. That's a hell no. Hell no. No pop-up blockers. I knew somebody was going to mention this. Oh, some cheating asses. Also, doesn't your mind already function as a search engine? Every time you are trying to remember something, this is a great point. But then every time we go outside, there are a lot of ads. Every time we turn on the TV, a lot of ads. Anytime you walk and you look at somebody, they're wearing a designer brand, a lot of ads. Not you block, but me block. When we get brain farts, what you think that is? Pop-ups. Wow. But if you are a person who likes to overthink things, you might be searching all the time. So a no for me. That's a good point. Again, the answer is no. Oh, Dan Jensen says fight packs all day. You are stuck with fights that end in the first minute for the rest of your life. No. She said, I'll keep my phone charged. I think that this is probably unanimous or near unanimous. We didn't get Kira. We didn't get her we didn't get her opinion. Ah, there we go. Now we got you. That would be me also overthinking and searching everything. I would never sleep. I swear I would never sleep because I oh my God. There will always be something really interesting that I want to know, and it'll pop up as I put the phone on the nightstand and go to roll over to try to fall unconscious. And then I'm there, and the thought just keeps going over and over in my head. And then I roll back over. I pick up the phone. I go on the Google. Oh, man. He said, maybe I would download the old WWE network. Why did you have to make this difficult? Download a mental VPN and you're in. Imagine taking the gift and your mind gets Yahoo as a search engine or Pornhub. Exactly. I would stay up all night Googling stuff like I do now, except it would be even more compulsive. Yeah. Oh. But the thing is, if my mind acts as a search engine, then that means I can stream all sporting events in my mind and I wouldn't have to pay. I could watch every movie on every streaming service in my mind. I really, really hate I really, really hate that Otis put this in my head. Never would get any sleep, man. I would be going back to UFC 1. So this is like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. I would be going back and watching UFC 1 in my head. Watching every mixed martial arts fight in UFC history and then I would watch all the fights in one championship, I would never search for Bellator. I would win every argument because I would have citations. Man, I can watch people's streams in my mind. All day, your brain being like, did you mean? Oh, man, I don't know. I was firmly being like, hell no. Now I'm not so sure. I would know all the odds. Why? When somebody wants to argue with me about basketball, I'd be able to pull up every stat ever in my brain. A lot of pop-up ads, though. But wait. I get the search engine, but I would not necessarily get access because a lot of that stuff is stuck behind paywalls. So I would still have to pay for all of it. All right, I'll pass. So it doesn't matter. In the first 5 days, you'll be dead because you ain't sleeping. Welcome, Xenon. We would love for you to participate. We'd be kicking everyone out of the casino. Yep. You can click your brain into sleep mode. This is true. Well, if your search engine will be able to do a reverse image search, you can instantly check chicks' Tinder profiles and their Narcigrams, their Tumblrs, their Twitters. You would automatically know if this woman actually respects men or not by how she carries on. But now I'm gonna have to decline because I would want to have access to like all the streaming services. But if I still have to pay for them because they're behind paywalls, nah. Xenon says, I do not accept. The gift does not sound doesn't sound good even without the trick. So, oh yeah, you could check to see if she's got a OnlyFans. Oh man, I'm telling you, this one, from in the very beginning, I was like, hell no. But there are some compelling things about this. But ultimately, I'm gonna have to say no. If there are a lot of pop-up ads, the first 3 pages of search results are probably ads too. You know that the first 3 results in Google are always advertisements. All right, going to the next one. The gift. You have an invisibility cloak. The trick. The cloak smells strongly of foot odor no matter how much you wash it. I would have to say no. And the reason why is because you would not actually be invisible because motherfuckers could smell you. Wait. I was just thinking this. You have an invisibility cloak. It doesn't mean that you have to use it. And because I'm an asshole, you know what? I am convinced. I am now convinced that I'm convinced that this platform, the Talking Shit podcast, brings the worst kinds of people that are a lot like me. Now, now it says it will smell strongly of foot odor no matter how much you wash it. Febreze ain't gonna help you, buddy. But you can use it to be an asshole. And man, they might be trying to smell their own breath. Like you can you can follow somebody who you don't like and have them go on a first date and just sit next to them, making sure they get no buns. This would have been real handy during the Rona in China or Australia, not being able to smell and still being able to go outside without people noticing. This is pretty brutal. This is pretty dark. We're getting a little dark here. Mrs. Evil votes no. I'm going to vote yes because it says that I have an invisibility cloak. It doesn't say that I have to use it all the time. So I could literally put this in an airtight container and then take it out when I want to fuck with people. Dan Jensen says yes. Right? Now, the thing is, you're going to get nose blind to it after you use it a lot. Like I said, an airtight container. Airtight container. I could also sell it on Craigslist. Buyer beware. Oh man, I like it. I like it. I like it. Kita is saying, yeah, I'm with it. She's like, I'm with the shits. Oh, if I want a place to clear out and I want a place all to myself, I'm packing my invisibility cloak and just go to some place and just get real close to people. And people be like, yo, don't go. That park, it smells like fucking feet, yo. You get enough people, you can go to the movie theater, yo. Oh, yes, I accept. Guru says you do understand that this technology exists, right? An invisibility cloak that smells like feet. She said, there you go, owning the beach. Nah, I mean, I'm letting you have the beach. I don't, a place that you can have the beach. You won't need to put on an invisibility cloak to keep me away from the beach. Otis says, I'm ready to go get one at Hogwarts now. So this said you could smoke while driving. If you get pulled over, the cop would be distracted by your smell. And if not, you can hide and get out of there. Well, the thing is, when you're wearing it and the cop stops you, and it comes up, he don't see anybody in the car, he's gonna freak the fuck out. Go to someone's penthouse and make them leave. Oh my God. You know what this reminds me of? Do you guys there was a movie that Kevin Bacon was in called what was the name of this movie? Hollow Man, thank you. Oh, yo, you can go to the gym and get the whole gym to yourself. Put on the invisibility cloak. It's good. Everybody give some love to Kira. She just had a wonderful baby girl. So we here at TSP, we give you our best wishes. Hope that everything goes well with the new one. And you know what I mean? So everybody give love to Kita. And thank you for coming through. This was a whole lot of fun. You gave us a lot of great ideas. A lot of great ideas. All right. Thank you so much for gracing me and the TSP family with your presence. I got a client texting me. Okay. Yeah, that was I would take the cloak and I would own it. But I promised that I would I'm gonna come back to this, Dan, at the end. Okay. I'm definitely taking ownership of the invisibility cloak. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have to do it. I'll just keep it in an airtight container. That's all. That's all we have to do. All right. The gift. You can read minds. The trick. If anyone finds out that you can read minds, you will spontaneously combust on the spot. Fuck no. Fuck no. And the reason why is because it would be very, very easy. Very easy. This is savage, but it is true. If we go back to this one, being a homeless man living in the street. Yep. Yep, that's exactly what this is. Yep. Yep. Sometimes I wonder, who is this person that I married? Maybe creating TSP was a mistake. We're gonna move on now. The gift. You are the best chef in the world, and your food is to die for. The trick. You can't taste your own cooking. I accept. I accept. I accept. I accept. I accept. I accept. Because the limited amount of cooking I have done in my life, I never want to eat that shit anyway. But if I'm the best chef in the world, Dan, it doesn't say you can't eat, you can't taste any cooking. You just can't. Yes, delicious. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. See, Dan, now you're seeing the light. I mean, you can teach someone else your recipe and eat it, but remember, you can teach people your recipe, but it will never come out the exact same way as when you do it. If you're the best chef in the world, you're getting 4 Michelin stars when they only offer 3. Actually, it's really sad. A chef, I believe in Paris, France, who is considered to be the best chef in the world, just lost one of his Michelin stars. Yep. It just says you can't taste your own cooking. The only caveat is people killing each other every time you don't want to cook. Now, here's the thing, man. Are we looking at this as a figure of speech, or is this gift part really part of the trick? But this is the gift part, and we hear people say to die for all the time. You know, some fucking chocolatier, some gourmet chocolate shit. I don't know, some shit. I'm accepting. I'm accepting. Because I could taste everybody else's cooking. And I could bring a lot of happiness to a lot of people. He's like, yo, it's even in quotations. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know, people use this phrasing all the time. So I'm definitely accepting. I'm definitely accepting, definitely, and I'll deal with what comes with that. All right, next, the gift. You can rewind time to change one of your own mistakes. 1. The trick. You will die a decade sooner than you would have. Do you accept this? Whoo. Mm-mm-mm. Mrs. Evil says no. Nope. Otis says nope. Nope. For Joy walking. Why are we so similar? Get out of my head. See, I would accuse you of reading my mind and you'd spontaneously combust. Regret nothing, change nothing. Yes, I accept. Live your life, and when you're about to die, rewind time to change this mistake. But you don't know when your time is up. I would like to learn from my mistakes. No, thanks. Yep. And this is my primary reason. This is what I was going to say. Because what if I was going to die 3 years from now and I let guilt I let guilt from the past control my future. And then as soon as I make that change, I just drop dead. Nope. 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 For all I know, I could have been scheduled to be gone within the next 10 years. Nope. Nope. Xenon is like, yo, this one is you're gonna have to give us your reasoning. What if you're destined to live 120 years, of which 40 in pain and sorrow? Well, I know that the likelihood of that is basically zero. And if I am destined to live to 120 and changing this mistake knocks 10 years off, I would still be living 30 years in pain and sorrow and die at 110. It's Xenon said you could possibly skip the last 10 years of your life struggling to get out of a bed. That is possible. But I do know that even if I was struggling to get out of a bed, I could still find joy in those 10 years. I can spend that 40 years in pain, but not necessarily have sorrow. Not necessarily. So that's going to be a hard pass for me. But I do get the reasoning that you guys, I do get what you guys are putting down. Justin Millen says, what if your mistake was not getting a loved one to the hospital in time? I'm going to have to live with it. Right? But I think everybody has different mistakes, right? I don't have this mistake under my belt, right? So I guess it would be situational for people. When I look at the mistakes that I've made, the stuff that I'm embarrassed by, I'm still here. It doesn't rise to the level of this, you know? I mean, what you're in effect asking me is, would I trade my life for somebody else's, or trade 10 years of my life for somebody else? In that scenario, it's definitely more compelling. Just saying it'd be the last 10 years of your life you'd be giving up. If you can change a life-changing mistake at some point, you could probably extend your life and then minus 10 off the back end. But I mean, if you have let's say you murdered somebody. I think that most people who have killed somebody, not in self-defense, I think most people would take this and say, you know what? To take 10 years off of my life to give back somebody's 10 to 80 years, I think a lot of people would. I think a lot of people would. Not everybody is great in this world, but I think most people who have killed somebody for no good reason, I think most people would go back and change it. And you hear it, like a lot of people convicted of murder. Murderers would not change it, but people who have committed murder, I think that to trade 10 years off the back end of their life to give back somebody, their life, I think most people would. But that's like the most craziest of circumstances, though. That's the craziest of circumstances. But I am happy that Justin Millen is here. Let's go. And definitely, guys, show some love to Justin. He put all this together. And I'm the one that told him, like, yo, you can take what you've already done and have some, content creators can use this and have a lot of fun with this. And I don't know about you guys, but I think you guys are really enjoying this. He's adding a little bit of nuanced layers here. You can rewind time to change one of your own mistakes. Doesn't say when you have to change it. And so this kind of goes back to what Traditionalist was saying earlier when he says, when you're about to die, you can change a mistake. Or I'll take it a step further. You make a mistake and you know that you're dying, then you use this little caveat here. You change that mistake and then you end up living longer and then just die 10 years sooner, which, in some cases, like you see a guy make a mistake and then you find out he only has 6 months to live because he had a terminal disease. And it'd be like, well, yeah, I'm going to change this mistake. I'm not going to crash this car. And you're still dead anyway. Maybe change the mistake of picking up smoking or drinking or something. People that have committed murder are usually sentenced to life. If they die 10 years sooner, but don't have to spend the rest of their life behind bars, it sounds like a good deal. And they would be given back the life they took from someone else. Jeremy says, what if you committed a crime and were destined for the death penalty? Still wouldn't be worth the time to lose, however short. I'd still not opt into this one. Well, in the United States, when you get the death penalty, you live a really long time. The lawyers and the prosecutors and the judges, you got guys that have spent 40 years on death row. So is it really death row or is it just solitary confinement? Not in Denmark. You get 12 years in jail for murder. I will not be going to Denmark. People just getting stabbed left and right. Hey, I could do the 12 years. You can't have Americans in Denmark, yo. People be like, yo, let me lure this motherfucker I don't like over to Denmark, stab him up, serve 12 years in a humane prison. What? Joy Walking says, it is a great game. Will be a great icebreaker or a home party game. Yep. So this says, from what I gathered, Danish cells ain't that bad of a place to live either. I was thinking the same thing. Woo! Otis says, if you make more than one mistake, would you be able to pick which mistake to rewind? Yes. You can rewind time to change one of your own mistakes. Yep. Nope. Joy says, no use for me. I don't really regret how I've lived my life so far. Stad is like, yep, I'm going to go do what I got to do in May. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting. Next, the gift. You will never be hungover again, no matter how much alcohol you drink. The trick, you can never drink coffee again. This, for me, is non-applicable because I don't drink either one and never will. But I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Mrs. Evil is like, nah, son. Nope. Xenon is like, I'm good. Jeremy is not happy. Stephen D, what's up, man? Thank you for coming by again on our non MMA show. We hope that you will stick around for a second and let us know. Would you accept a gift from Set? He said, I'm in my 20s. I don't get hungover, so I need that coffee. Yeah, don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee and wow, it's not just me. Wow. Okay. Please hit the like button. If you're not hitting the like button for me, hit the like button for Justin. He worked really hard to put this service together. It is in a alpha slash beta, but you guys are having a lot of fun. So please, show Justin just how much fun you're having. Show how much fun you're having by hitting that like button, because he's going to be looking at, the analytics that I set. Like, hey, dude, the people felt like this about it. The like button will let him know just how much you appreciate it. So please hit the like button. Dan, what is life then? Well, I can tell you, Steven, because I don't drink alcohol or coffee either. Life is just life. There are other beverages. There are other beverages. I'm a big fan of blood orange juice. And Mrs. Evil can tell you how miserable that makes her life, because then she has to go and try to procure it from somewhere for something less than $25 a bottle. Okay. The hangover is to show you just how big of a mistake you made, though. I think that for some people, if they never got a hangover, it might induce them to drink more and then make bad decisions that they would probably need, to shave off the back 10 years of their life for. So, I don't know. Dan Jen said, I drink a lot of water. Yes, sir. You just see how many empty 50-ounce bottles I've created. Otis only drinks socially. So, pretty interesting responses here. Cap the Majora's in the building. Answer the question. Set is offering you a deal, Capta. The gift: you will never be hungover again, no matter how much alcohol you drink. The trick is you can never drink coffee again. So let us know if you would or wouldn't. Stephen D says, do you drink any caffeine? I use a pre-workout when I lift occasionally. Traditionalist says, no matter how much alcohol you drink, no hangover, but still alcohol poisoning. Capta is not good with this deal. Why not? He needs his coffee. He needs his coffee, y'all. Now remember, there is decaf coffee that people like to drink. So caffeine is not the end-all be-all when it comes to coffee. Now for Capta, he says he needs his coffee. So it's probably the caffeine for him, okay? But there are some coffee connoisseurs. I live with two of them. All right. And, to show my love for them, I bought them a coffee machine that cost over $1,000. Right? Like, do they use it to perk up? Yes, but they definitely are connoisseurs. Definitely. All right, we're going to move to the next one, if there is a next one. See, that was like, if there is a next one. From all of us at Fireside, thank you. Don't forget to set a time and date for your next gathering. All right, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Everything not related to this, I'm going to cover in the next few minutes. This was a lot of fun. Justin. Yeah. In the comments section, if you're watching this later on, if you have any suggestions for Justin, leave them in the comments. He'll be checking them. Anytime a comment comes through, hey, Justin, got more comments. This was a lot of fun. Even though he called you Mullen, like the Hall of Fame basketball player. You know, this was a lot of fun. And here's the crazy part. There are 2 more parts to this. This is just set scheme 1. There's set schemes 2 and 3. So there's a lot of content like this on startfireside.com. So please, and you see the link is right underneath my name. Yeah, right here. Right here, here. Right? Check out startfireside.com. Right? You can sign up for a free account. There are a couple of presentations that that you would have access to for free. And when you log on to the website, he will definitely send you an email and ask you about your experience. Just make sure that when you sign up, you let them know Dr. Evil and the Talking Shit podcast sent you. All right. Please let him know. This was a lot of fun, y'all. This was so much fun. And there's a lot of different there's a lot of and again, like if you look at just the conversations that we had here on this channel, just in the comment section, right? Right? Because you know, we go back and forth on a whole bunch of different stuff here. But you get, you know, such a collage of different opinions. And I think that this is one of those things where, you know, if you can't read every single comment, right? You know, if you're a larger creator, you can just create a poll that everybody would vote in. At the end, and you know, if somebody's super chatting, you know, donating, because really the reason why a lot of people ask for super chats is because it makes it easier for them. It makes it easier for the content creator to see your comment when the chat is just going crazy. Like right now, we are still formulating our community here. So I have the time to just read through all the comments. But for a larger content creator, you know, the super chat stuff, you could, you know, if you really want to get your thought out there or you want to support the platform, you know, certain people can definitely make sure that their opinions are seen and discussed. And everybody else that, you know, may or may not get their comments seen, depending on how fast the chat is moving, everybody can vote in the poll and you can see who wins. So that would be really good. That would be really good. That would be really good. So again, thank you so much, Justin. This was I had a lot of fun. This was so much fun. And I can tell this is really fun because the ladies are like the ladies are in the other room and I can hear them laughing in the other room, you know? And again, like even if you're really close to people, because this service was developed to try to mend strained relationships or to pull people back toward each other as life has kind of pulled them apart. And people struggling to communicate with each other effectively. This is what it was designed for. But as you guys can see, it can be so much more. It can be whatever you want it to be. So I really hope that you guys will check out startfireside.com. He said the ladies are setting the next fire. Savage. All right. So Dan Jensen asked earlier, any Captain Paul updates? Captain Paul is in the hospital now. He was texting me before he went underneath the knife. And he seems to be, same old Captain Paul. If you guys were here for last night's live stream where I was detailing an unpleasant exchange with a chronically single woman who is strong and independent and don't need no man, he joined that conversation and was being his usual Captain Paul self. So he's in pretty good spirits today. But as soon as I get some sort of information from either him or his wife, I will definitely let you guys know. We'll definitely let you know. But we are all pulling for Cap. Okay? We're all pulling for him. Stephen D says, bro, this stream is going to be lit this Saturday. I can't wait for Jones. So he also says, anyone else agree that if John Jones goes the distance, he wins no matter what? I said the same thing about Patty's last fight. Very interesting, sir. We are going to have a lot of fun on Saturday. Okay, that's just 2 nights away. We will be gracing each other's presence in about 50 hours for UFC 285. Be here or be here on TSP. The return of John Jones in the main event. Make sure you're here. Buy the pay-per-view. Okay? Hang out with us. All right? If you're going to be using a cracked stream, just know that I'm going to react to the shit I see. And you'll see it probably in the next 64 seconds after I see it. But either way, be here. Be here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay? Steven, I've been saying since Saturday and the last show that if Jones loses 50-44, the UFC will still make him number 1 pound for pound. John Jones can get knocked out 50 seconds into the first round. He'll be ranked very high up. I think that the UFC is crazy biased towards John Jones. And it doesn't matter what. I've never heard of them trying to overturn somebody's DQ loss. Never heard of it. Jeremy Lewis is going to be here. Dan Jensen. Otis is going to be here. Steven. David Banner shows up when the stream is over. But we love you anyway, buddy. So Jeremy Lewis like, David, you're late. David Banner is predicting a John Jones KO. He thinks he's going to knock out Cyril Gane. John Jones very rarely knocks anybody out. Yep, it's a business and he wants superstars. So the thing that they hate is the guy that doesn't have much personality. Like, again, Steven, you mentioned the Paddy Pimblett fight. Paddy Pimblett very convincingly lost that fight against Jared Gordon. But Jared Gordon has the personality of a broken pair of earbuds. David Banner says not by KO. He is amending it to ground and pound TKO. This is a possibility. There's a possibility. Dan Jensen says John Jones will TKO Cyril Gane. Okay. Okay. Yeah, David, come on. You're not a filthy casual. You know that there's a very clear difference between KO and TKO. My prediction, I'm going to say Cyril Gane by unanimous decision is the most likely outcome. And the reason why I'm saying this is because Cyril Gane is a very experienced fighter at heavyweight. He is a very intelligent fighter. And I believe that he got caught off guard by Ngannou's wrestling because nobody thought Ngannou had any wrestling, so he did not prepare for that. Everybody knows that John Jones has wrestling. John Jones doesn't really use his wrestling very often, but John Jones has that. I think that Bonga Min is he's ready for that. And another thing is that even though John Jones has done it properly by not transitioning from a lifetime of light heavyweight and then rushing into heavyweight, he's got a chance to grow into his heavyweight body. He just doesn't have any experience in a fight at heavyweight. And I think that no matter how hard John Jones trains, there's no way that he is going to make up for the speed loss of weighing more. So there are going to be different reads that he's going to make. He's going to make these reads properly, and he's not going to be able to execute on them because his body is just not going to move as quickly. He's going to make the right read at the right time. His brain will have the right timing. His body is just going to be a tick slower than he's normally used to being. David Banner, you were incorrect here because DC started out as a heavyweight fighter and then went down. DC started out as a heavyweight fighter. Then he moved down to 205 and then moved back up to take the heavyweight crown. Maybe not a lot of people know does this. Xenon says, I hope TSP does more Fireside live streams in the future. Are you listening, Justin? Are you listening? Yeah, we will definitely get some more. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Justin gave me a list of stuff. Yeah, he gave me a choice of 4, so we're definitely going to be doing more. We're going to be doing more. Stephen D says, I can't bet on this fight because it could go either way, even a first-round sub. Yeah. Now, I think that there is a chance for a TKO scored by Gane on Jones. I think that is the second most likely outcome. And this is why. John Jones does move pretty slowly. Not that he is a slow fighter, but he's a very cerebral fighter. He's trying to make reads. The problem with that is that not only does Gane have the power to knock you out, but he invests very heavily in leg kicks. I know for a fact John Jones was not training to take leg kicks in this fight camp. And the leg kicks that Cyril Gane puts out there, Dan Jensen said Jones has more championship fights than Gane has overall. But guess what? John Jones has less championship fights than Cyril Gane at heavyweight. It is a different style of fighting. It's different. Fighting at heavyweight, you ask any fighter who has fought at light heavyweight and at heavyweight, it's different. Different. It's almost a different sport. It is the difference between men that fight at flyweight and women that fight at flyweight. That is the difference between guys that fight at 205 and guys that fight at 265. It's different, man. But you think that John Jones is going to make it look easy? Jeremy Lewis says, I've never watched a Gane fight. Gane is the type of... Gane looks like the way a middleweight fighter fights or a welterweight fighter fights, but in a much larger body. He's fast. He's accurate. He's very, very skilled. He's a problem. He's a problem. And even in the fight that he lost against Ngannou, it was somewhat controversial. Some people thought that Ngannou actually lost the fight.
But Ngannou had so much top control time. But even when he did have control time, he did have to fend off a knee bar, a submission attempt. I believe it was like the second or third round. But you know, Gane is a problem. Gane is a problem. Did you go over the Jake versus Tommy fight yet? Nope, not worth it. I don't care about what either of these guys are doing. I think that these events they found out is profitable, so you just keep putting them on. I had no interest in this. I don't really have any interest in boxing whatsoever. It's just corruption filled, and these matchups are not compelling. So that's all I have to say about that. I don't find it to be interesting to pay attention to at all. The most that I learned about what happened in this fight was when I went scrolling looking to see if the Rangers made the trade for Patrick Kane. And then it was like, oh, so-and-so lost a split decision. I'm like, okay, whatever. Cool. So I think that the two most likely outcomes are Gane winning. Oh, Jeremy Lewis says, I was kind of happy Jake lost. He wants to gloat about beating MMA fighters in boxing matches until he loses to an actual boxer. So there's that. There's that. I mean, Jake is a unlikable person. He's an unlikable character. So if he does lose, there are going to be people that like that. But he also has millions of fans. So I'm pretty sure that some people were probably saying that it was fixed or whatever. But people have been saying that his fights have been fixed since he's been winning them anyway. I don't know. Like I said, I have really no interest whatsoever in whatever he's doing. So, you know, if his brother wanted us to hawk, what is that that sports drink that they're putting out there? They paid me enough, I'd start caring, to be honest with you. David Banner says, I bet we see at least 3 fouls from John Jones on Saturday. So this is Stat said, will the referees see them too? Prime, yeah, it's called Prime. You know, they have like, what is it? Prime Hydration and Prime Energy. Guru says, curious to see how Bones takes a punch from a real heavyweight. If Gane catches him flush, I could see Jones getting chinned. If Herb Dean is reffing, no, he won't see it. Is there going to be an eye poke from John or no? Well, David Banner says probably 3. Because I don't know John Jones to kick people in the dick. I don't know him to do that. But we know him for eye pokes. So, I don't know. I don't know. But I've said this. John Jones could lose 48-47, 49-46, 50-45, 50-44, 50-43, and it would still make him number 1 pound for pound. You know, that's the reality, folks. Not a fan of Herb Dean. Too many botch calls in my experience. Herb Dean is one of the best referees in all of MMA today. It just so happens that he calls the most high-profile fights. So when he does make a mistake, it sets the MMA world on fire. But let me tell you, lesser-known referees make just as many mistakes, if not more, than Herb Dean does. It's just that they're calling less visible fights. So the gravity of their mistakes is not really as felt. There's a reason why Herb Dean is more often than not the ref for main events. And real MMA heads inside of MMA, they know this. What do you think of Bo Nickel? Bo Nickel is like, the way that he is saying, the way he's talking, Bo Nickel is talking as if he is the American version of Chimaev. And I just think that with Bo, we need to see him fight in the UFC. There's plenty of hype out there. We got to see it. We got to see how, you know, Steven believes in him. But you know, I need to see more. I need to see more. David Banner says, well, there is a lot of letting fighters get away with having the fingers out. Yes. Yep. And then there's that funny business with Conor Khabib, where Conor he got away with grabbing the fence, putting his fingers in the glove of Khabib, grabbing the inside of the shorts to stop Khabib from advancing positions. But I think that Conor thought he was going to get finished rather early in that fight. And I do believe that the fouls that he made might have. But I don't think that Khabib was really looking to win in round 1 or round 2. I think that he wanted to make Conor suffer. But yeah, Conor was cheating real bad in that fight. That is not a fight that Conor wants. He doesn't want Makhachev either. He fought a former champ at Dana White's Contender Series. A former champ of what? My mother's basement? He's not fighting UFC level competition. There's nobody that has won a championship in the UFC that has to go down to Dana White's Contender Series to then fight one of the fighters there. So, you know, regional champs, I put no stock in that. I need to see you win at the UFC level. And so I don't know. I'm not saying that Bo Nickel is not a great fighter. What I'm saying is that I'd like to see him actually fight. Yeah, Cage Fury. Yeah, Cage Fury is not the UFC. You know, it's a regional. These are to see if these guys, he's the best of the rest. But this is the UFC. Could he win fights at Bellator? I'm sure. I'm sure he could. I'm sure he could. But he has 0 wins and 0 losses in the UFC. So I don't have an opinion on him. I need to see him in the cage. And we will see him against what is really a sacrificial lamb. But if he gets beat, I'm going to laugh because he's talked a lot of shit. And when guys come into the UFC talking a big game about being a champ and I'm going to beat this one and that one and I'm the best ever, we haven't seen you do a goddamn thing. Well, if Pickett ends up winning this fight, if Jamie Pickett ends up winning this fight, because again, I agree, he's supposed to be the sacrificial lamb. But you remember that time that Roxanne Modafferi beat that chick that was supposed to be up and coming? I forget which. I could see her face, but I can't remember her name. And Macy Barber. Where is Macy Barber now? She was supposed to be the future. When she came to the UFC, she was supposed to be a killer. They put her up against Big Bird. Big Bird with titties. And what happened? What happened? So I need to actually see you fight in the UFC. And if Jamie Pickett jabs him to death, Usman style, and he starts out 0-1. Remember, Chandler jumped into the UFC, got his ass whooped. What? Yep, Macy Barber. So again, Jamie Pickett is a challenge because he is a bona fide UFC fighter fighting at the UFC level. And we are going to see if Bo Nickel is at least at that level. My girl Big Bird, put some respect on the name. Dan Jensen says that she's the prettiest girl in the fight game. Roxanne Modafferi, the happy warrior. We respect her here, but she does look like Big Bird. Just saying. So 2 days away, folks. 2 days away, UFC 285. Please make sure that you're here. Make sure your friends are here so that they can join in on the conversations too. I know that you guys aren't all loner MMA fans. So make sure that people know that this is the place to be on Saturday evening. This is the place to be. All right. This has been a wonderful, wonderful stream. We had a lot of fun here. Just like, excuse me. Just like Xenon said, more Fireside live streams coming. And I'm going to work that out because I actually have to work with the venerable Justin Millen. I'm going to have to work with him later. He's going to have a lot to say about this stream during our session. And he's going to let me know what he wants me to cover next. And we could be back here sooner than later. So stay tuned for that. Guru says, I was big on Macy Barber, but you are right that Roxanne Modafferi fight really humbled her, and she hasn't looked the same since that fight. She tore her ACL, anterior cruciate ligament, and MCL, the medial collateral ligament, excuse me, in that fight. One fight can change you. Yeah. Anytime you get in the cage, anything can happen. Do you think that Ben Askren thought that he would be talking to his maker 3 seconds into that fight with Street Judas? Street Jesus? Street Jesus. Where did I get Street Judas from? I think somebody else called him that. Shavkat Rakhmonov is a real problem. But I do believe this is a tough fight. I will tell you like this, Steve. I'll tell you like this. We're about to see just how good Shavkat really is. Because Neil is a boring fighter, but he's got all the fundamentals. And you are going to have to be at least on your B+ game to beat him. At the highest levels of UFC. You're going to have to really be on your game. You think Gamrot gets finished? That's interesting. Wow. Dan Jensen says Shavkat all day. Shavkat by sub. Yeah, it was Colby Covington that did this. Oh, wait. Yeah. This is important. Please hit that like button. Okay, please. We'd appreciate it if you did. He says, I'm betting on Turner. Wish me luck. So, a little bit of housekeeping before we leave. I've found out the hard way, and somebody can look this up, but I haven't found a way to do this. But live streams here on YouTube are not monetized until after the live stream. So if you feeling froggy, hit that super chat button. We'd appreciate it if you did. Because I thought that these streams were monetized while live, and they're not. And that makes me sad. The Patreon is up. That link is in the description. At the noob level, $2 a month, showing support for the platform. We may do a couple of special things. I'm still working that out with Cap. But there's a lot more exclusivity at the shitter, $5 a month level, and at the dog water, $10 a month level. So if you're feeling froggy, and Dan Jensen is already a shitter, he said, what about the ad before I get to watch the stream? Yeah, I don't know, but we're not monetized during the stream for some reason. Maybe it's something that having some streams show ads every 20 minutes. I know Twitch does that sometimes. But yeah, I got to figure it out. But yeah, our live streams while we're live are not monetized. So, yep. Dan is a beloved shitter at the $5 a month level. Thank you so much for that, Dan Jensen. Yeah, also memberships. No, actually, when you got premium here, if you have YouTube Premium like I do, when you watch our videos, because you pay, I think I pay like $23 a month for premium. When you watch videos on this platform, we still get paid whenever you give us a view on a video if you have premium. So, well, I have a family plan. So yeah, when you guys watch our stuff, and you have premium, we still do get AdSense money from that. So don't worry about that. But I just haven't seen anything that would allow us to monetize the streams while the stream is live. All right. Because we said true things about the state of modern women, our monetization for last night's stream was restricted. So, but I also used some $2 words very early in the stream, so that might be when we got demonetized. But yeah. So yeah, so just want to make that. And again, even if you don't subscribe to the Patreon and you don't become a channel member here on YouTube, the greatest thing that you can do is hit the like button. And make sure that your friends that you have these kind of conversations with about anything going on in the world, and especially when it comes to sports, especially when it comes to MMA, make sure your friends know that we exist. All right. I'm going to be setting up the stream very early. So when you guys come to YouTube, you can share the link. In fact, I'm going to prepare for Saturday's stream, actually when I'm get done here, so that you guys can see that the stream is set up, and then you can take the link to that stream and you can let people know this is the place to be. Yo, come hang out in the stream with Dr. Evil and Mrs. Evil. I don't know. We might even, I don't know. I'll talk to Lutch about participation as well and see if he's down for that. But anyway, much love to every single one of y'all. Thank you for supporting us here on TSP. Thank you, Justin Millen, for providing us with some really fun content that can be found at www.startfireside.com. The link is in the description. Make sure that when you sign up and he hits you up, let them know who sent you. It was the Talking Shit podcast. All right. So great stream, y'all. We will see you very soon. Peace.